What is going on, my ninjas? I cannot be the only one that's enjoying the hell out of this filler. I mean, we got to see Hagoromo Usutsuki, the Sage of Six Paths himself, how he awakened the very first Sharingan in history, besides his mother's, Rini Sharingan that she has in her forehead or whatever. We got to see the first Sharingan ever, like how it was awakened and everything. Like, this is history that we're witnessing in this filler. In my opinion, this should be straight up canon. I'm going to go ahead and say that it's canon. You know what? Fuck all the filler and canon bullshit. This really happened. So Hagoromo was in love with this woman. I wonder who ends up fathering his children. Does he fall in love later on? I mean, of course he does, because we know he has Indra and Ashura. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. But I just got good vibes from this episode from beginning to end. I really enjoyed the part where Gamamaru is his name. It's really cool to see the toad that gave Naruto that prophecy, though so young, and he was alive back then with the Sage of Six Paths. He's the one that made the Sage of Six Paths. Before he was just Hagoromo, but this toad is the one that gave him his sage powers. Like, wow, we're witnessing history in this one episode. So Gamamaru, if that is his name, forgive me if I'm just butchering the fuck out of it. He's awesome, man. I knew he was an old toad based on what all we saw in current Naruto timeline or whatever, but I didn't think that he was the one that actually gave Hagoromo his sage powers. So maybe a combination of his sage powers and his Sharingan gives him the Rinnegan. Like, it's a mystery how Hagoromo gets the Rinnegan. We see him in the preview to the next episode with the Sharingan, and then towards the end of the preview he has the Rinnegan. So I don't think the same rules apply to him that we've been taught so far, because Hagoromo is the Sage of Six Paths. He is one of the originators of chakra. Of course, we know there's his mother, then him, then his little brother, but he doesn't have to, get the EMS. He doesn't have to do all that crap that, Sasuke and Madara had to do. He is Hagoromo. So I'm just interested in seeing how he awakens his Rinnegan. Because up until now, we've been told we need, Indra and Ashura's, chakra, and Senju and Uchiha DNA. But, I mean, that's already all in Hagoromo. So I wonder if he just gets, like, super mad and it awakens, or if it's a combination of his Sharingan and the Sage power. Like, I don't know. There's no telling. But all I know is that I cannot wait to see the fight between Hagoromo, Hamura, and Kaguya. We know it's going to happen. It's inevitable. The only thing that I wish they would have shown in this episode is, like, at the beginning we see Kaguya with Hagoromo and Hamura when they were babies, and then literally 2 seconds later they were already teenagers, or like maybe early 20s or something like that. So we never really got to see exactly how caring Kaguya was for her children, if at all. I mean, she has to care for them because they're alive still, but I really wanted to see Kaguya being a mother, because that's a big thing in the Naruto-verse, because she's crying looking at Naruto and Sasuke, remembering her children right now. Like, she's still crying throughout all these flashbacks, all this filler. She's crying still, so that means she did have some love for her children. So I really wish they would have shown us, like, exactly how caring she was towards them, like when they were babies. Like, maybe her holding them in her arms at least. I wish we could have gotten something like that. Like, I didn't expect to see, them breastfeeding on her legendary demon bunny tits or anything. No, I just wanted to see her interact with them like a mother when they were children. But I mean, hey, what can you do? But Hamura and Hagoromo, they look awesome. I love this filler, man, because up until now, the only time that we've ever seen them was like in a flashback. We never really got to see how they were when they were around this age, and just that peddler that Hagoromo slapped him on the ass and healed his back. Hagoromo is awesome. They really are like gods in the ninja world right now. And there's a theory that I'll talk about it in a different video. I'm not even going to get into it. But the fact that Kaguya pretty much killed Hagoromo's lover, we already know how it is going to turn out, but I just cannot wait to see what's going to happen. Like, how did it lead up to an actual fight? What's going to happen between Hamura and Kaguya like right now because she's pissed off. He tried to repel her with his Byakugan, but hers is of course stronger. So I wonder if they're just going to duke it out right there. But in the next episode, the preview anyway, we see them talking and whatnot. So I don't think the final fight is going to go down right now. I think Hagoromo's going to confront his mother. Maybe even Hamura goes to learn the sage powers or whatever, and then they team up. But as far as I know, I think maybe in the last, Hamura may have had the black balls symbolizing, sage power, like sage of six paths powers. But as far as I remember, Hagoromo was the only one with the Godama balls, the black balls or whatever. So maybe he's the only one that has the sage powers. Technically they're all sages, but I'm talking about like the sage energy from the toads or whatever. So I'm really interested in seeing what's going to happen next. Kaguya, man, I'm loving this film. I'm loving to see exactly what she was about, and I really wonder where she came from and if there are more of her wherever she came from. I'm not going to dive into my theory. That's going to be in a separate video, but tell me what you guys thought. I enjoyed seeing what Hagoromo could do a little bit, like when he used that lightning blast to destroy the big boulder and pretty much just show us that they were gods back then, like how he healed that man's back and how the whole village is coming towards them. And even when that bear came up, even though Gamamaru or whatever his name is, he's the one that took care of it, Hagoromo and Hamura was just looking at it smiling like, yeah, that's a big bear. Like they were about to demolish that motherfucker, man. So I really hope we can see what they do, like what they can do before the fight with Kaguya, because we already know how that ends. I hope we get like some amazing jutsus, and I really hope we get Ashura and Indra out of this flashback. But tell me what you guys think about this filler. What do you think about this episode? I forgot to mention the fact that Hagoromo is going through the same training that Naruto will go through in the future, sitting atop the peak, absorbing the sage energy, basically gaining a sage mode. Just further proves that Naruto is the chosen one. He is the ninja that unites all ninja. I'm not going to go into spoilers because a lot of people haven't read the manga. Well, not a lot of people. Most people have read the manga. There's not really that many more anime only watchers, but I do know that I have a few subscribers, so I'm not going to get into it, but just know that there is some major symbolism there. The fact that Naruto underwent the same training that Hagoromo Otsutsuki did himself. This filler is just blowing my mind, man. It's giving us the ancestry and the origins of a lot of things. We got the origins of the Byakugan, the Sharingan, and ultimately, next episode, hopefully, the Rinnegan, and how a lot of these jutsus were created, hopefully. Like, we're seeing the founders of chakra in action. Like, right now, how they interacted with their villages, how Hamura is more hot-headed, and how Hagoromo is more calm and collected. It's just pretty cool to see these characters that we've heard about in legends, like actually how they actually lived. It's just really cool, and how they were suspicious of their mother based on what the toad said, and then ultimately we know that there's going to be a fight between them. And it's just something about like hearing like, oh, her sons fought her and sealed her, and then actually seeing it and how it came about, and just everything. There's a huge difference, and I'm really enjoying it. Anyway, this has been jbDAuchiha. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.